Alright, so for my idea project, I decided to take Nordstrom's new launch of Trunk Club. So what Trunk Club is it's an online platform where you can work with a stylist to create a better style for yourself. So basically, Trunk Club has 5 different steps that they like to brand themselves to their customers of first you create your style profile by answering a couple questions about yourself. It walks you through a couple different styles that you may or may not like, and you get to pick that. So then after you do that, you chat with your stylist. So basically you're paired with a stylist from the Trunk Club, and they talk to you a little bit more in depth about what your style is and try to get a better feel for what they can recommend to you. So once you guys go through this step together, you review your trunk of the items that your stylist has selected for you. Basically, you get to approve or disapprove these items, and if you disapprove them, your stylist takes that into account for the next time that they send you the trunk, um, and they can better get educated on what you like and what you don't like through this process of going through this with them. You'll get the trunk sent to you, and you try everything on, and you can either keep what you like or you can send it back. And if you decide to keep what you like, you pay for that item. So there's I believe it's $20 subscription fee each month, and basically that is to pay for your interactions with your designer. Anything that you keep is what you get pay or what you pay for. So they have items ranging from $25 on through about $300 per item. So you just pay for what you want. Then you can reorder, or like I said, send back whatever items you don't want to your stylist, and then you can go through basically from step 2 of chatting with your stylist, and talking about what you liked and what you didn't like, so that the next time that they send you the trunk, um, it's a better option for you based on what you were telling your stylist. So the problem with this platform, Stitch Fix is a really similar program to Trunk Club, in the fact that it's an online platform where you get a designer and you go through the steps. So Stitch Fix has been around for a little bit longer than Trunk Club has. So I did a lot of research on what were the issues with Stitch Fix and how can Trunk Club use those items to go off of and better themselves. So a lot of the reviews from Stitch Fix were there was a lack of trust. So basically, um, even after months, people said that they still didn't feel like their Stitch Fix designer had any idea what they liked or what they didn't like. So really, they felt like they were wasting a lot of time by not even trusting what their designer picked out for them. The second thing that a lot of people had issues with was the quality versus the prices that they were paying for some of the items. Some people even said that they found like the exact same product on, say Amazon or some other online platform that was cheaper than what they paid for the product through Stitch Fix. So kind of going back to that thing of trust, is it's like they were really thrown back that they were paying so much higher prices for Stitch Fix when they can go on the internet and buy the same exact thing. And then lastly was poor communication. So a lot of the times, chatting with the stylist is super valuable, but if you're chatting with a stylist and they're just not understanding, you're not really getting anywhere. So most of the communication through Stitch Fix was like pre-programmed saying. So say you got your box of clothing from Stitch Fix and you sent back 3 things. Your designer would send you a questionnaire on like why'd you send them back, and all the messages were pre-programmed to say like didn't fit or too expensive or not my style. There was nowhere where like clients could elaborate on, well, I liked it, but the color just didn't fit my skin tone. So clients felt like really they could answer kind of just as general as buying it offline without paying for the designer or having that connection with their designer. So really poor communication, and all 3 of these items work together in creating a not so great experience. So if we can take these 3 items and try to better them in Trunk Club, that's what I'm going for in this project. So my project that I am proposing is I want to create a pop-up retail space for Trunk Club. Because it is a new launch and Stitch Fix is so closely related, I really wanted something to differentiate themselves in the market. Because it is an upcoming business and it's launching, but it's not fully out on the market yet. I thought that this would be a great space to launch the product and also give some sort of experience so people could talk about it and further the brand, just give it that big jump start. So I want to facilitate this experience through a pop-up retail space. My goal is to connect clients and stylists. Because it is an online platform, people don't get the face-to-face like they would like to. Um, even if not every, or even if you can take phone calls, it's still not the same as meeting in person, shaking their hand. So this space is intentional in being able to connect clients and their stylists. And then, I didn't want to create the already created. So Trunk Club does a good job at going through the different steps and getting people comfortable with their wardrobe that they're proposing, but I wanted to create some sort of fun and engaging activity for the clients and the stylists to go through. So something that would excite both clients and designers in this space. So my vision in the space is to excite, educate, and inspire. In this space, I will strive to excite attendees with their surroundings and the staffers that guide them through. During their experience, they will be supplied with knowledge from experts on how to better their look and style. Providing guests with non-invasive teaching, guests will feel comfortable in engaging and connecting with their stylist. After leaving the space, guests will feel inspired to take what they see and learn how to apply it to their everyday life. This is the look and feel that I'm going for. I went with transitional because it reflected Trunk Club's current branding, but it also had a little bit of meaning behind it. So transitional is a mix of contemporary and modern, and basically that is saying like putting in modern, but also keeping what's good, what's been around for a while and what is working. So kind of with the whole vision that I have for Trunk Club, because shopping, working with designers is very traditional. It's been there for a long time. It's always been an option if you want to do that. But this whole idea of it going online is new. So creating those two platforms of um, being able to do the traditional designer where you meet together and get professional advice, and then also combining it with the new of doing it online. So basically we're going to be looking at a lot of neutral colors, very clean, minimal, but if there are items, they're strategically placed. And a lot of emphasis on line. So even though that line is not hard, such as in geometric, there's an emphasis on a lot of lines used and implied line. And even if it's not super hard, you can look throughout the space and you can see all kinds of patterned structures throughout line, whether that's the edge of a window or the ceilings. You can see lots of different areas where that would apply. So this is my experience I'm going to be working on. I have decided on a 60 by 100 space that would be featured in malls throughout the US. And basically right now I'm working on this space and I'm breaking it up into 4 different categories. And the first one would be 60 by 50, and this area would be a runway. I would have models from Trunk Club featuring different clothing that they have. And guests would first go into this area and they'd get to see all the models walk the runway. That would feature, variety of styles such as like stay-at-home mom, and then it'd be more fashionable where we'd get to see all ends of the spectrum for styles. But this would let people get a look and feel for like what do they like. They would be able to take away and show their stylists what they do like. Then we'd be moving into the 30 by 50 space where it's more focused on the look and feel. So we've got like a materials library and color analogy. So designers would be then paired up with their client and they'd be able to walk through the space and be like, okay, so here's jeans, and here's the different washes that we can work with. And they can get the professional advice from the designer, but then the client can also give feedback immediately on what wash they like, and that would be noted for the designers later on. It would also be a thing in this space where designers would get to help their client through a color test of, you know, what colors look best with your skin tone or hair. All of this would be noted to better educate the designer itself in its recommendations for current or future with their client, but it would also be something that the client could take away as an experience of learning what colors look good with their skin tone and hair, learning different materials and be able to actually touch and feel currently in the space, and be able to give their designers feedback immediately without having to wait, you know, for them to reach an email or get back to them. So this would be a great space for both the client and the designer to learn. Then we move to the 30 by 30 space, where clients would get to try on some outfits that the designer picked out for them based off of the two experiences that they just walked through, the runway and then the material library. So based off of what they liked and what they, you know, wanted to see, they would get to try on some product right away there. This would be kind of another engaging step for the client designer to bond over and be able to get some very valuable feedback right away, versus trying to gain that trust and that knowledge through multiple different trunks over a, you know, period of time. Then we'd be moving to a 30 by 20 space, and this space wouldn't be for everyone. This would be for people that completed the 30 by 30 space by trying on those garments. And this would be a space where the designer and the client, you know, if the client's really interested in learning more and becoming a Trunk Club member, they would get to go into this 20 by 30 space, and this would allow them to have a deeper conversation. Most of the clients that would be coming through the space would probably sign up to be a Trunk Club member at the end of this. This is kind of the final step where, you know, in trade show industry there's private meeting rooms. This would be the private meeting room of this pop-up retail space where clients that were really interested in the product and learning more, and the designers would get a chance and a private place to be able to connect further. So this concludes where I'm at right now. I've got my concepting done, and I've got what my experience, what I want it to look like. I will now focus on moving forward with the layout and how to execute the items that I want to be done in the space. Thank you.